Is it too late to start a business at 50, 60, or beyond? I think that most people, whenever they come in, they'll have this hesitation. The very first thing, whenever they have a conversation with me, they'll find me on social media or on YouTube or wherever. And they're, you get the initial feeling of, okay, I think I can do this. I'm pretty sure this lady's making it sound easy enough that even I can do it, right? So like that's the vibe that you get. But then you have sort of like this thing that feels like you hit a brick wall of reality, right? Where you're like, well, shoot, but I'm like in my 50s, but I'm like in my 60s. And is this something I can do now? Isn't this something that like the kids are doing? And when we say the kids, we're talking about 30-year-olds these days. But isn't this something that the kids are doing these days? Is this something I can actually start right now at the age that I am? And I think that the secondary or supplemental question to that, honestly, if you're thinking it, I think most people do, is literally what I hear from people, is, okay, if I can do this, can I actually ramp it up? Do I have enough time to ramp it up to something that is sustainable and beneficial? Or is this really just a time suck for me right now? It's sort of like the prime of my life of like where I'm getting to do kind of what I want to do and spend time doing things I want to do now. Is this something that's really just going to cut back on that time, but I'm never going to see a benefit to it after all? Let me get into a story or a couple of stories if we have time. So I have tens of thousands of students at this point, right? And so most of my students, I was literally just thinking about this last weekend, and most of my students, I would say over 50% of my students are over the age of 50. And I hadn't really thought about that previously. I just, I see my students as my students and they're all the same and we kind of just work through their stuff and whatever. But when I realized this weekend that most of them were over 50, I was like, these people are making massive changes in their life at a time where they really didn't, if you tried to create a business or you tried to do network marketing or you tried to, create income from home previously, like most people have, if you tried to do that, most people wouldn't have the tenacity and the fearlessness, right? To try it again and then actually crush it and actually do it. Most people don't have that. But when I look at literally my tens of thousands of students out there, and over half of them are 50 plus, that is the people that I attract apparently. And there is something that just like gave me a massive internal glow whenever I realized that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are literally coming to me after having failed before. They're coming to me at this point in their life and they're turning it around and they're crushing it. There's like, I've got literal grandmas that have made, I'm gonna say so much income, but don't think they're not billionaires, right? Let's keep it in, reality. But they have made so much money that they're now able to stay at home with their grandkids, right? So one of the ones that I'm thinking of right now, I didn't ask her if I could tell this story, so I'm not gonna share her name, okay? But if you see this later, lady, if you see this later, let us know in the comments, right? But if you want to. But she started my stuff and she knew not one thing. She would be the first to tell you. She didn't know a doggone thing about marketing, about business, about online income, about any of it. She didn't know any of it, none of it, right? She had tried different network marketing things previously, but she didn't really understand how you build a brand and how you do all of that stuff. Well, my whole goal is to make this crazy easy for you guys, right? I really want it to be a just add water situation. I want you to come in and you to have the heart and the soul, like where you want to be able to serve, right? Like that's your thing. If you've got that, I've got the tactics, I've got the systems, I've got everything that you actually need to make it happen. I just need you to actually care about people, because that's the thing I can't do for you, you know? But when you've got that, you are literally unbeatable in my world, okay? And so whenever she came in, she learned how I do things, and then her daughter, I believe it was her daughter, I'm pretty sure, had her very first grandbaby after she had been in my stuff for about 6 to 12 months. And she was able to stay home. Like, she's probably home right now today. She's literally able to stay at home with her grandbaby, which was all she ever wanted in her life. Okay. Now, does this mean that you're going to be some superstar on millions of stages and blah, blah, blah? I don't know. Maybe it's for you and maybe it's not. But what I know from most people is that's not even what they want, right? What we really want is we want to be able to live life on our terms, right? We want to be able to wake up in the morning, not be stressed out, not be chaotic. We want to be able to have our coffee or tea while watching The Price is Right, which is literally my morning every morning. We watch old episodes of The Price is Right. Just heads up. Anyway, so you want to be able to wake up, live life on your own terms, ease into your day, serve people, get messages from people saying, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said X, Y, and Z. It changed everything for me. Like, when you show up in service in the way that I teach you how to do it, it's not building a business. It's not. I probably shouldn't even call it that. What it is it's actually you living inside of your own personal ministry. That's really what it is. Because you're serving people, you're helping people. You happen to make money while you're doing it, but it's not skis ball weirdo money. It's money that they want to pay you for helping them because you've helped them, but then they also thank you for it. So it's a life that I would say it's the road less taken, not enough coffee, right? So that is where we're at, is we're living a life that most people don't even know is available to them. And so in your 50s and 60s, can you start living that life? I would venture to say, why not now? If you haven't thus far, it totally makes sense to start doing it now. Start showing your kids and your grandkids what's available to them via what you are doing. So anywho, yes, short answer, long answer, short question, whatever. But yes is the answer. I'm actually going to pop into this video, into the description of this video. I'm gonna pop a little resource, a free resource for you. So go ahead and look down into the description and you'll find a free resource that'll get you started today. See you later.